Hi, everyone, and welcome to virtual lesson number 21. So in Unit 9, we are learning about linear relationships, and so far you've learned what slope and y-intercepts are, but now we are going to focus on interpreting slope and y-intercepts. So what they mean in terms of a linear relationship, what it means in terms of that situation. Okay, so the first example I'm going to do right now in this video, and then your assignment for today is to finish the Google Slides and do the next 3 examples after this one. Okay, so part A just asks to use the graph to determine what the slope and the y-intercept is for the graph. That we've already done. You should already know how to do that, so we'll quickly just go through that. So let's start with the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is when x is 0, what y is, also known as when the line touches the y-axis. That happens right here at 6, so that means the y-intercept is 6. Next, to find the slope, you pick 2 points on the graph, and you figure out the rise over the run. So even though we're going up 1 space, take a look at the intervals, okay? It's going up by 6s. And the run is not going up by 1s, it's going up by 2. So slope is 6 over 2, which simplifies to 3. So the slope is 3. Okay, part B. Then give a real-world interpretation of the slope and the y-intercept. Hint, be sure to look carefully at the scale of each axis. Okay, so for this problem, I'm just going to erase some of the things in the graph so we can clearly see the graph again. Look at the title. It says pool passes, and the x-axis represents the number of passes, and y represents the cost in dollars. So the slope, think about it. We're talking about rise over run, so the change in y over the change in x. So we're talking about how much y is referring to money. So we're talking about money, and we're talking about the number of passes. So the slope is talking about how much it costs for every pass you buy. So the meaning of the slope is that it costs $3 per pass. So to go to the pool, one person has to pay $3 to get a pass to go to the pool. Next, the meaning of the y-intercept. So again, the y-intercept is when x is 0, what y is, which is 6. So again, use what the axes are labeled. X is referring to the number of passes, and y is referring to the amount of money. So 0 is talking about how there's 0 passes, but the 6 is referring to how much you pay. So that means there is a flat fee of $6. So another way you could think about that is if a family wants to go to the pool, they have to pay a flat fee of $6 just to be members of the community pool, but then they each have to pay $3 per person. So if it's a family of 5, well, the family has to pay $6 to be members of the pool. And then for every person, they have to pay $3 to get a pass for them. So 5 family members means that $3 per person, so that's $15, plus the original 6, that there's a flat fee. So in total, they would have to pay $21. Okay. Part C, write an equation y equals mx plus b that represents the situation. Use variables that have meaning to the graph and context. Okay, so remember, y equals mx plus b. So m is referring to the slope. We know the slope is 3. B is referring to the y-intercept, which we know is 6. Now, I just want to quickly talk about what this means. Use variables that have meaning to the graph and context. So you very well could give me the answer y equals 3x plus 6 and be done. But sometimes in math, when we're talking about a real life situation, we want to use variables that make sense. So for example, y is talking about the cost in dollars. So we could use the letter C instead of y. And then 3x is talking about the number of passes. So we could use the letter P to represent that, the number of passes that you want to buy, plus 6. I will accept this answer, but I just want to talk about why you sometimes see different variables being used. You can use any sort of variable that makes sense in the situation, as long as whatever the y-axis variable is the variable you're using in this part of the equation, and the x-axis label, whatever variable you pick, goes in that spot. Okay, so that's example number 1. In the Google Slides you have 3 more examples, so go ahead and do those. If you have any questions, let me know.